Hi, my name is Alejo Pesci. I'm a photographer by trade, and as many of you probably will start out as a hobby. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about my experience through photography and to encourage you to pursue your passion and interest in that field. So, well, I started a long time ago kind of fiddling around with a camera that I got when I was 11 years old. And since then, I think I caught the photography bug, so to speak, because just images inspire me, and it's nice to be able to make these images and share your vision of the world with others. Well, these days, it's never been easier to be a photographer, whether you're pursuing it as a hobbyist or as a professional. The camera has never been as accessible as it is today. So get yourself a camera. It really doesn't matter. You can take a great picture with, a cell phone camera or a pinhole camera. The technology shouldn't hinder what you're trying to convey. So let's talk a little bit about the camera and what it is. In its most basic form, it's a box that's sealed off, and no light can enter except through the lens. And the lens can vary from a pinhole without any glass elements to, super telephoto lenses or telescopes or any number of lens choices. So the most important thing is to choose the equipment that will capture what you're interested in and what you're trying to show, because there's specialty equipment for every type of photography out there. And so first go about what is it that you're going to take pictures of, and then go out there and get that equipment that's necessary. So generally people have a nice point and shoot or a SLR camera, and they go from there. Those type of cameras, the SLR type cameras that let you manually expose and take control over the functions of the camera, will allow you to make the type of picture that you want more successfully. So learn about those things, and don't stop, because there's so much to learn. You can get overwhelmed, but really start at the basic, obviously, and don't get burdened by all the equipment and unnecessary camera settings that are packed into cameras these days. So first off, what you're trying to show in the picture is captured within a frame, and that's really the final, that's the final picture that you're going to share. So what is it that you want to include or exclude from the photo is just as important. So frame your pictures wisely, move your feet, get closer if you can. Don't have limitations unless they're there for a specific reason. Sometimes you could be on the sideline as a sports photographer or reporter and be confined to a small space, and having to work within there presents certain challenges, and you have to overcome those. But typically when you travel about and want to capture your vision of what you're seeing and your experience, then you'll want to approach that subject and choose your frame and compose the shot there. You have to sometimes wait for the action. You sometimes have to wait for the light to be right. But if you're thinking about the photo before you actually put the camera up to your eye, you'll make better pictures. Well, photography is a real powerful medium. As many of you already are aware, that a picture can convey so many things to the viewer in just such a fraction of time. You could be flipping through something, an image can catch your eye, and it can say something very powerful. It can cause also great distress, or it can tear down a nation. A photograph is is really something that never goes out of style in terms of a medium to really share something or show something. So that's what everybody wants to do, obviously, is to make great pictures. So how do you do that, and what does make a great picture? Obviously, knowing a lot of technical things will help, but really learning to see is probably the most important thing. Whether, the lighting has to be right, the composition has to be right, all these elements come together to make a more powerful image. You can capture something that's happening with a cheap little camera. The image might be there, the imagery of the subject might be there, what's happening, but it might not be, it might be in a shadow, it might not be clear. So there's a lot of elements that can come into play and make a picture that much stronger. So really learn about those things and take control to make a better picture. Now, a picture is also, can be art. That means that it can be appreciated as a standalone framed piece of art. For that, there has to be a certain technical proficiency or subject, or really anything that someone would want to hang on their wall or to look at. And so great photographs can be made by pretty much anyone. It's all out there. You want to learn as much as you can to take control and make those images and make them better. So there's another point to that, in that photography can be art, but it can also be something that you capture in an artistic manner. So everyone can take a picture, and a lot of times people will become the family photographer, and they're inspired by their children, and those type of photographs become better with experience, and they can actually they can elevate to the point where they're artistic, or they're considered art.